Do you think people are lazy and need to be pushed? What a great question to be asked on an interview. Why do I think that? Really very simple. By the way, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I coach people and organizations to be more effective in their job search with hiring, being more effective at work as well. Now, I love this question because, well, they're sending a signal to you that they're having a problem with getting people who actually want to work for a living. And, I think that's useful information for you as a job hunter. So what I would do to start off with in answering this question is to flip it around and say, is this a problem for the firm? Is this a problem for you, this group, what have you? If they say, oh, no, not an issue whatsoever, you have two choices at that point. One is to do a suck-up question, a suck-up answer, which translates into, no, I don't think that people are basically lazy. I think people care about doing good work, and you go off on that tangent. If they say, yes, it is a problem here, then you can go exploring with them about how they do their hiring, where they find their people from, and go exploring. Now, to me, if you want to answer the question sincerely, which frankly is my preference, once you have the answer to the question of, well, is this a problem around here? Yeah. To me, the idea becomes you're hiring people who don't care. And when you have to light a fire underneath someone to do something, eventually that part of their body develops enough resistance to the fire that they don't care. What you try to hire are people who have a fire within them, not people who you have to light a fire under. And in answering the question, what I would say to them is, hey, look, I'm sorry you have a team of individuals with whom there's a problem. But number one is I would look at the selection process, the recruiting process, where you're getting people from, how you're evaluating and assessing individuals in order to look for people who have the fire within them, not who you have to light a fire underneath them. Well, how would you go about doing that? Well, there's a million ways to do it, but it starts off with not just tolerating mediocrity and making it clear at the time of the interview that there's an expectation for high performance. If they don't want to perform at a high level, if they don't really care about doing a job that's good or extraordinary, frankly, this isn't the right job for them. Now, this is going to be a question that's asked of a person at a manager level leader level, who's down in the trenches with folks. And as such, just recognize that they do have a problem with staffing, even if they say they don't. And they're probably going to go down the road of, if you say the answer that I'm suggesting, you have to be prepared to talk about how you'd evaluate and assess people differently, how you wouldn't hire the poor performers because they suck the life out of an organization. And frankly, I would conclude by saying, hey, look, we need to create an environment here where people want to do stuff. And if we have an environment where people don't care, well, even when you hire someone who does, environments tend to win. And when you have an environment where you bring in a winner into an environment where everyone doesn't care, eventually they revert to being like those folks. So we have to recreate an environment where people care about their work, want to do world-class work, yada, yada, yada. So I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. If you did and you're watching on YouTube, click the like button, share it, do something that lets people know it was worthwhile. Also want to mention, subscribe to my channel on YouTube by clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner. Or if you're watching on BingeNetworks.tv, BingeNetworks.tv is an app that you can watch my stuff and a lot of other people's material on the business channel on BingeNetworks.tv. It's available for Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, about 90 some odd TV platforms that you can watch me on. Also want to say that if you're interested in my coaching you, I've got a lot of materials available for free, but it's not personalized for you. But if you're interested in my coaching you and helping you with your entire job search or individual components of it, reach out to me through LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the big game hunter. Once we're connected, message that you're interested in coaching. We'll set up time for a free discovery call. Hope you have a great day and take care.